Shishaya Brihu and Zaid Uqbai were both residents of the village of Woyni in the district of Kafta Humara in western Tigray. They were brought together by a horrific massacre that took place in November of 2021. Shishai remembers Stefano, an irregular armed group from the Amhara region, arrived in their small village on the evening of November 5 of 2021. In the morning following their arrival, they called residents for a meeting, and once everyone arrived, they started to separate the men from the women, tied their hands behind their backs, loaded them onto a truck, and took them to the wilderness.
They forbid us from going to church in the morning. Then they said we needed to gather for a meeting. In the afternoon, they started separating us. They selected men, tied our hands behind our backs, and loaded us onto a truck. All I could do at that point was wish for my death. They had tied my hands so tightly that blood started to drip down to my fingers. They took us to a valley in the wilderness and ordered us to kneel down, and then they started to shoot at us from the back.
Zaid said he had been just one of 86 men taken to the wilderness that fateful morning and shot.
They took us from our village on November 6, 2021 at around 11 in the morning. We were around 86 men. They took us to a place called Maitsalawa. After they gathered us there, they started shooting at us.
Shishai was shot on his back and died on his neck and would fall to the ground next to 84 other men. They would be just two of 4 survivors of the horrific massacre.
They shot me around my ear. The bullet went in through here and came out through the other side. They thought I was dead. When they left, I came out of the pile of bodies. I found a guy there and we helped untie one another. We both survived.
Luckily, I was covered under a pile of bodies, but then they started looking through the bodies to see if anyone was still alive and would then shoot at them. I heard one of them say, "This one is not dead yet, finish him." Then he shot me in the back. After they left, I struggled out of the pile of bodies. It was difficult because my hands were still tied to my back. Just 4 men survived out of the 86.
Right after they left the scene of the massacre, Shishai and Zaid both tried to reach their homes, but wouldn't be able to do so due to the seriousness of the injuries they had sustained.
I started running right after I left the area, but fell down immediately. I spent the night and the following days there. I woke up 4 days later. I got up and went home. I found my family and we left. We traveled for days through the wilderness and arrived here.
After they left, I ran to the wilderness. I stayed there for like a week and then dragged myself to my house. I didn't get any kind of medical treatment. I just peed on my wound. Then I came here.
The tragic story of this man is a story of many Tigrayans displaced from western Tigray, sheltering in IDP camps all over Tigray and waiting for justice to be served.